Can I tell you something that drives me crazy? It's about an hour after dinner, maybe even just barely finished cleaning up, and one of the kids comes in and says, "Mom, I'm starving." I have to laugh because obviously they're not starving. They're maybe a little bit hungry, but there's a huge difference between hungry and starving. And an hour after dinner, they're definitely not starving. But I think one of the greatest marketing successes of our age has happened in the last 100 years, where we've all been convinced that even the slightest feeling of hunger could be an emergency. So you better have a snack or grab a protein bar or drink a shake. We say things like make sure you eat before you exercise, or make sure you eat after you exercise, or never skip breakfast. Don't let yourself be hungry. And somehow along the way, we've stopped trusting the body that God gave us. And I've been thinking about that a lot, especially after making the first episode in this series, because I realized something. Maybe the real question is not, should we fast? Maybe the real question is, why are we so afraid of something the human body was naturally designed to do? I'm a mom. I've watched babies learn to crawl without reading a book. Like they just figured it out. And I've watched toddlers learn how to walk, obviously by falling over a bunch of times, but I've watched them still learn. I've watched cuts heal and broken bones can mend and fevers fight infections. When my kids were little, I actually tried to minimize the amount of Tylenol or ibuprofen. I'm not saying we never used it. Sometimes we did. But I really tried to minimize it because you could see their little body get so hot. But I knew that it was also fighting the infection and building their immune system. Just like pregnant bodies can grow an entire human being. I felt like this little baby that I had given birth to and then it became toddler. And obviously, as it goes on, was also able to heal. Now, I recognize that I don't have to tell my heart to beat and I don't have to remind my lungs to breathe while I'm sleeping. Like we all go to sleep without worrying too much about if we're going to breathe. Granted, I do actually have sleep apnea, and that's a whole another side category, but in general, we can go to sleep and our lungs just know how to breathe. I don't consciously digest my breakfast. I just eat it and my body takes care of it. The body is constantly doing things that I don't fully understand and I don't tell it to do. And maybe, just maybe, it also knows what to do when I don't eat for a little while. That thought changed things for me because after my multiple sclerosis diagnosis, I stopped trusting my body. Every numb finger or sensation, every headache, every strange, pain or squeeze, like every moment of fatigue, I'm just thinking through it. I just assumed something terrible was happening. And I lived on high alert. Maybe you've been there too. Have you? Probably. I want to hear about it. Tell me if you have. Have you gone through that? Waiting for the test results? Waiting for symptoms to maybe go away or maybe come back? Just waiting for the next bad thing. You begin believing that your body has just betrayed you. And over time, I started asking a different question. what if my body isn't my enemy, but what if what felt like betrayal was actually protection and it was my body trying to protect me the whole time? So let's pretend we missed breakfast. We're going to do a little experiment. Imagine tomorrow morning you wake up, you drink water or smoothie, coffee if you're a coffee drinker, whatever it is that you do, and you take the kids to school, you answer emails, you fold laundry, go to work, take a walk. It's noon. And if you haven't eaten, what do you think is happening inside your body? If social media is right, you're destroying your metabolism, losing muscle, you're going into starvation mode. I mean, everything's going to slow down. Your hormones, oh, they're ruined. What were you thinking? And your body is going to panic, except that's not what actually happens. I'm sorry, it's just not. I'm not really sorry. It's not what happens. Your body does something incredibly calm. It's amazing. It simply changes fuel sources like a hybrid vehicle. Our bodies are cool like that. They are hybrid. First, it burns the energy from yesterday's dinner, and then it quietly opens up the stored glycogen. And if needed, it begins accessing the stored fat. And it's not because something's gone wrong. It's because that's exactly what it was designed to do. God really did build you a body that could survive. It's one of my favorite things to think about. Imagine Adam and Eve, or imagine Abraham, Ruth, David, Mary, Peter. None of these people owned refrigerators. None of them had grocery delivery. None of them had packaged protein bars or 72-hour kits. They just didn't. Food came in seasons. There were harvests and fishing, and there was travel and celebrations and waiting. And somehow, God designed a body capable of living beautifully in those rhythms. When winter came, the body adapted. And when food was plentiful, the body stored energy. And when food wasn't immediately available, the body didn't just give up, it adjusted. And that's what's incredible about it. And honestly, it's really deeply comforting. One thing I've noticed reading scripture is that fasting almost always appears during moments of dependence. People aren't trying to manipulate God. They're trying to hear him or to just to remember or reconnect. So they're praying and they're repenting and they're seeking wisdom and they're fasting. Jesus fasted, Moses fasted, Esther fasted, Daniel fasted. The early disciples fasted, not because food was bad and not just because they didn't have it, but it was because they were trying to create some space for change to happen. And I wonder, in a world where we're constantly consuming food, news, social media, entertainment, noise, just notifications. Maybe fasting isn't just resting from food. Maybe it's also practicing trust in God to fill the void, to fill the emptiness. Think about your kitchen after Thanksgiving dinner. There's pots everywhere, dirty dishes, people talking, the oven might even still be warm. And imagine trying to prepare another giant meal right before you've cleaned anything up. Eventually, the kitchen needs to rest. Like, I'm giving you a moment to think through this. You've just made Thanksgiving dinner. Not even everything's not even cleaned up. Not everything's even put away. And someone comes in and starts cooking another meal. Maybe our digestive system appreciates a rest, appreciates rhythm. Eat, digest, absorb, rest, restore, eat again. That idea fascinated me enough to spend years reading about metabolism and circadian rhythms and inflammation, the gut and microbiome and ketones and the impact on immune function. And while science is definitely still learning, one thing keeps showing up. The human body is remarkably adaptable, far more adaptable than we've been taught. So I need to tell you something. I don't fast because I hate my body. I don't. I just don't. That would be silly. I fast because I respect it. And there have also been seasons where my body needed more nourishment, not less. And I've struggled to maintain my weight. Like even right now, I am trying to gain weight. I've gone through stressful seasons and I've learned the wisdom in knowing when there's times that we need to purposefully add in and times we need to purposefully rest from eating and times it needs to be woven together. That's why this series is not going to glorify just being thin. There is wisdom in knowing the difference of when we need to gain versus lose. I don't want to glorify suffering. Fasting is not intended to create suffering. That's not its purpose. And I also don't want to glorify hunger because just being hungry to be hungry because you just, no, we're not trying to be hungry. Health is not punishment. Health is partnership with your body, working with the body God gave us, not fighting against it. So this week, instead of asking, what diet should I follow? Ask a different question. This week, what was my body designed to do? Maybe it was designed to move more than it has been, or to sleep more than it has been, to breathe deeply, to eat real food, to laugh around the table, pray, rest, and yes, occasionally experience hunger without fear. If today's conversation encouraged you, I'd love for you to continue this journey with me. You'll find more resources on my website. I'm just getting it going. It's youareworthithealth.com. Or if you'd like something you can tangibly hold, I've just recently published my book called Finally Understand Multiple Sclerosis. You can get it on Amazon. And if someone came to mind today while we were together and you were listening and thinking of them, I want you to send this to them because I have a feeling the answers that we're looking for aren't hidden in the newest trends. They're waiting for us in the rhythms that we've known since the beginning. And we need to reach out to those we know and love and share and grow and build together. I'm really excited that you're here. I really hope that you were able to get something meaningful from this today. Please post your questions below. I am here for you. I'm posting these videos for you, and I'm trying to create a platform where questions can be asked and answered. So please comment below. And Catch the next one. This is only episode 2. I'll see you soon.